she was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image.
I think the one I enjoyed reading more than anything else was Harry Potter.
With the king's health at a critical stage, King Charles has begun to delegate more tasks to his son, Prince Williams. This has necessitated the young prince to push up new plans to help the monarchy thrive in the modern world. While his plans seemed all right to some royal members, the reverse was the case with Queen Camilla, who viewed his plans as a secret way to thwart all her efforts in the royal household. This situation put the king in a tight spot. His beloved wife is against his first son and heir to the throne. How will he navigate the difficult situation? Join us as we delve into all you need to know about Queen Camilla, Prince William's plans, and why the Queen stands against him. Queen Camilla. As a mark to the new generation of royals, Prince William has devised plans to keep the royal family relevant and stable. Queen Camilla seems unimpressed, while King Charles embraces these plans with open arms. Why? Before we reveal this, there are lots of questions to answer. How did she become a member of the royal family? Let's find out. Queen Camilla became Queen of the United Kingdom and the 14 other Commonwealth realms as the wife of King Charles. Camilla Rosemary Shand was born at King's College Hospital, London, on July 17, 1947. Her parents were British Army officer turned businessman Major Bruce Shand and his wife Rosalind, daughter of Roland Cubitt, the 3rd Baron Ashcombe. During her childhood, Camilla became an avid reader through her father's influence, who read to her frequently. She grew up with dogs and cats and, at a young age, learned how to ride by joining pony club camps, going on to win rosettes at community gymkhanas. According to her, childhood was perfect in every way. Biographer Giles Brandreth describes her background and childhood. Camilla is often described as having had an Enid Blyton sort of childhood. It was much grander than that. As a little girl, Camilla may have had some personality traits of George, the tomboy girl among the famous 5. Still, Enid Blyton's children were essentially middle-class children, and the Shands, without question, belonged to the upper class. Camilla was sent to Dumbrells, a coeducational school in Ditchling Village, when she was 5. She attended Queen's Gate School near her London home from age 10. Her classmates at Queen's Gate knew her as Milla. Her fellow pupils included the singer Twinkle, who described her as a girl of inner strength exuding magnetism and confidence. One of the teachers at the school, the writer Penelope Fitzgerald, who taught French, remembered Camilla as bright and lively. Camilla left Queen's Gate with 1 O-level in 1964. Her parents did not allow her to stay long enough for A-levels. She attended the Montfertil at age 16, finishing school in Tolochenaz, Switzerland. After completing her course there, she studied French and French literature at the University of London Institute in Paris for 6 months. Following March 25, 1965, Camilla was an upper-class young woman in London, one of 311 that year. After moving from home, she shared a small flat in Kensington with her friend Jane Wyndham, niece of decorator Nancy Lancaster. She later moved into a larger flat in Belgravia, which she shared with her landlady, Lady Moira Campbell, the daughter of the 4th Duke of Abercorn, and later with Virginia Carrington, daughter of the 6th Baron Carrington. Virginia was married to Camilla's uncle Lord Ashcombe from 1973 until 1979, and in 2005 became a special aide to Camilla and Charles. Camilla worked as a secretary for various firms in the West End and as a receptionist for the decorating firm Sybil Colfax and John Fowler in Mayfair. She was reportedly fired from the job after she came in late, having been to a dance. Camilla continued to ride and frequently attended equestrian activities. She also had a passion for painting, eventually leading to her private tutoring with an artist, although most of her work ended up in the bin. Other interests were fishing, horticulture, and gardening. In the late 1960s, Camilla met Andrew Parker Bowles, then a guards officer and a lieutenant in the Blues and Royals, through his younger brother Simon, who worked for her father's wine firm in Mayfair. After an on-and-off relationship for years, Parker Bowles and Camilla's engagement was announced in the Times in 1973. Sally Bedell Smith claimed that the pair's parents sent out the announcement without their knowledge, which forced Parker Bowles to propose. They tied the knot in a Roman Catholic ceremony at the Guards Chapel, Wellington Barracks in London on July 4, 1973. Camilla was 25 years old, and Parker Bowles was 33. The wedding was considered the society wedding of the year, with 800 guests recorded. Royal guests at the ceremony and reception included Queen Elizabeth II's daughter Anne, the Queen's sister Margaret, and Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. The couple had 2 children, Tom and Laura. Tom is the godson of King Charles III. Both children were raised in their father's Roman Catholic faith, particularly during the lifetime of their paternal grandmother, Anne Parker Bowles. Camilla remained an Anglican and did not convert to Roman Catholicism. Laura attended a Catholic girls' school but married in an Anglican church. Tom did not attend Ampleforth College as his father had, but Eton and was married outside the Catholic Church. Tom, like his father, is in remembrance of the Earldom of Macclesfield. It was in December 1994, after 21 years of marriage. The couple issued divorce proceedings because they had been living separately for years. Meeting Prince Charles. Camilla reportedly met Prince Charles in mid-1971. Andrew Parker Bowles had ended his relationship with Camilla in 1970 and was courting Princess Anne. Though Camilla and Charles belonged to the same social circle and occasionally attended the same events, they had not formally met. Giles Brandreth states that they did not first meet at a polo match, as has been commonly believed. Instead, they first met at the home of their friend Lucia Santa Cruz, who formally introduced them. They became close friends and eventually began a romantic relationship, which was well known within their social circle. As a couple, they regularly met at polo matches at Smith's Lawn in Windsor Great Park, where Charles often played polo. They also became part of a set at Annabelle's in Berkeley Square. As the relationship grew more serious, Charles met Camilla's family in Plumpton, and he introduced her to some members of his family. The relationship was put on hold after Charles traveled overseas to join the Royal Navy in early 1973 and ended abruptly afterward. There have been different explanations for why the relationship ended. In his 2008 book, Royal, Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, Robert Lacey wrote that Charles met Camilla too early and had not asked her to wait for him when he went overseas for military duties. Sarah Bradford wrote in her 2007 books that Diana, a member of the close circle of his great-uncle Lord Mountbatten, claimed Mountbatten arranged for Charles to be taken overseas to end the relationship with Camilla, to make way for an engagement between Charles and his granddaughter Amanda Knatchbull. Some sources suggest Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, did not approve of Camilla because she wanted Charles to marry one of the Spencer family granddaughters of her close friend, Lady Fermoy. Most royal biographers agree that Charles would not have been allowed to marry Camilla had he sought permission. Well, all that happened a long time ago. After a series of turbulent events, Camilla eventually became styled as King Charles' wife, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. After their marriage, the newly styled Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, began a life in public service. Camilla had been public enemy number 1 for much of the 1990s after Diana named her the third person in the marriage. But by the time she and Charles married, some people's attitudes were beginning to soften, and the reception they had from the crowds in Windsor on the wedding day was almost entirely positive. Revealing her strength and smarts, Camilla, as Duchess of Cornwall, seemed to have consciously tried to woo the press that made her life hell for over a decade. As soon as she was married, she was seen out and about with Charles, and when people met her, they were surprised by how warm, friendly, and funny she was. They liked her. Because she was friendly to the press and helpful to photographers, they wrote friendly things about her and published good photographs. And gradually, the public's view of her changed. What was Queen Camilla's important role in the palace life? According to palace staff, Camilla plays an important role in palace life. She also makes working for Charles, whose petulance and tantrums are legendary, easier. She would be sitting at the table listening to him behave badly, and all she would have to do was look at him, and the whole atmosphere would change. One of the staff told Junor in The Duchess, "I think Camilla has transformed Charles," Junor says. "He is happier with her than he has ever been. She gives him confidence and the support he desperately needs throughout his life, never truly found elsewhere. Camilla has also proved herself to be a very hard worker and a secret weapon for a monarchy low on top-tier royals available for public service. She is now the patron of over 90 charities and has camaraderie with the public that few other royals can claim. She is very chatty with the public and makes them feel instantly at ease, often making a joke or telling them, for example, that her feet are killing her normal exchanges that normal people have, which I think most people find endearing. How does Queen Camilla demonstrate her ability to connect with ordinary people? Camilla has endeared herself to the public by being willing to get her hands dirty. In November 2021, Catherine Johnstone, Commander of the Order of the British Empire and Chief Executive of Royal Voluntary Services, of which Queen Camilla is president, talked about a time Camilla was serving meals at one of its lunch clubs. Johnstone said that one of the older diners with sight issues asked whether the Duchess would cut up her food. Her Royal Highness immediately started cutting up her meal without hesitation. Camilla's patronage choice has also shown her not to be the happy country gal she often seemed to be. She has highlighted the often taboo subjects of domestic violence and intimate assault. In October 2021, she gave a remarkably pointed speech on intimate violence at the WOW Foundation's Shameless Festival in London, where her words were blunt, progressive, and moving. Of course, the Queen is not without faults. She is said to be very stubborn and tough on people she doesn't like. Sometimes, Camilla's irreverent humor can also get her into trouble. In 2007, she and Charles were panned as culturally insensitive after they couldn't stop giggling during a performance of Inuit throat singers in Canada. However, from all indications, she is a strong support system for Charles. But in a turn of events, she became an antagonist to Prince William, King Charles's first son and heir to the British throne. What led to this event? Before we reveal that, let's see her transition from Duchess of Cornwall to Queen. From the Duchess of Cornwall to Queen. On September 8, 2022, Queen Elizabeth II died after a 70-year reign. After decades of waiting, King Charles III was finally a monarch, and his beloved was now Camilla, Queen Consort. King Charles III and Queen Camilla's coronation was held in Westminster Abbey on May 6, 2023, in a ceremony watched by 20 million viewers in the United Kingdom. After King Charles III was diagnosed with cancer in the early 2024, followed by the shock cancer revelation of Catherine, Princess of Wales, in March, Queen Camilla valiantly stepped up her duties, bravely becoming the face of the monarchy during a difficult time. However, private life at their London residence of Clarence House and various other royal dwellings, surrounded by their 10 grandchildren, fulfills Queen Camilla the most. Although she is now Queen of the United Kingdom, she is still a fun-loving, family-focused mom at heart. And no matter what the future holds, the love between Charles and Camilla endures as they face the challenges of ruling and aging. King Charles III is immensely proud of her and is grateful to her for everything she has sacrificed for him. This was the case before her sudden change of attitude towards Prince William. Let's see how she relates with the royal family. Camilla's relationship with the royal family. The hardest people for Camilla to win over have been members of the royal family who may not have accepted her initially. The Queen didn't want Camilla around in the early days because their relationship was so damaging to the monarchy, but on a personal level, she has always liked Camilla. They have much in common, particularly their love of dogs and horses. She is friendly with other family members and gets along well with William and Kate. It was initially difficult for William and Harry, but Camilla let them take their time. But no matter what his family thinks, Charles's love for Camilla is evident in their 2021 Christmas card, which shows the Prince of Wales tenderly helping his wife put on her mask at Ascot. While some royal family members, including Prince William and his wife Kate, eventually accepted Camilla, others appear to have more complicated feelings. In his controversial 2023 memoir, Spare and Subsequent Press Interviews, Prince Harry characterized his stepmother as a dangerous figure who sacrificed him and his wife, Meghan Markle, on the altar of public opinion. "She's my stepmother," Prince Harry told Good Morning America in 2023. I don't look at her as an evil stepmother. I see someone who married into this institution and has done everything she can to improve her reputation and image for her own sake. The relationship between Prince Harry and Charles further deteriorated after Prince Harry's pointed comments about Camilla. I think people have to realize that the one thing Charles finds unforgivable is criticism of Camilla, royal biographer Christopher Anderson told Fox News Digital. Harry said some pretty devastating things about her. I don't think they'll ever forgive Harry for that. But why is Queen Camilla angry with Prince William? The relationship between Camilla and William has of course been indelibly shaped by the legacy of Princess Diana. Diana perceived Camilla as the other woman in her marriage to Charles, and she is known to have discussed her marital issues with her eldest son, including Camilla's role. It's hard to imagine this didn't create a predisposition for tension between William and Camilla from the outset. According to Prince Harry's memoir, Spare, William and Harry both begged their father not to marry Camilla. William and Harry had always distrusted Camilla and felt resentment toward her because of their devotion to their mother. They never felt comfortable opening up to her in any real way. William and Harry's distrust grew when they found out Camilla leaked stories to the press to make herself look better. While William is seen by many as an easygoing and relaxed figure within the royal framework, a biographer's story suggests the Duke has not always been so easygoing. Katie Nicholl, a royal author, claimed in her 2010 books that Harry and William clashed with Camilla's daughter Laura Parker Bowles on several occasions. She said William and Laura used to have terrible fights over who was to blame for their broken homes. Ms. Nicholl quoted a family friend of the royals as saying, William would blame Camilla for all the hurt she had caused his mother, which would send Laura into a rage. Laura was not having any of it. She would take a hard line and fire back at William. Your father has ruined my life. Laura and her brother Tom had been teased mercilessly at school because their mother was in a relationship with Prince Charles. She continued, when Charles telephoned Camilla at the family home in Wiltshire, Laura would pick up an extension and shout down the receiver, "Why don't you stop calling Mummy and leave our family alone?" She couldn't care less that it was the Prince of Wales. She blamed him for breaking up her parents' marriage and was unafraid to tell William. However, William and Camilla got tighter amid all the drama with the Sussexes. It brought them closer. William and Kate don't want any extra drama or tension in the family. They have enough of that with Meghan and Harry, the source says. It was Kate who warmed William to Camilla. She's never been dismissive of Camilla and always treated her with kindness. So why did the Queen stand against Prince William's propositions? We will soon get to that. But first, let's see Prince William's and his impact on the royal family. Prince William's impact on the royal family. From a young age, Prince William became aware of the reality of life outside the royal walls. He became aware of ills that have stricken different categories of people worldwide by visiting shelters and clinics with his brother and mother in the mid-1990s. William and Harry volunteered at the British Red Cross Aid Distribution Center to pack emergency supplies for countries affected by the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami in January 2005. In December 2005, William spent 2 weeks in North Wales with Mountain Rescue England and Wales, where he became the patron and president of the Royal Marsden Hospital later in May 2007. The same year, William and Harry organized the concert for Diana in memory of their mother, and then donated the proceedings to charities. He also joined in the 1,000-mile 8-day Enduro Africa motorbike ride across South Africa to raise money for Sentabale, UNICEF, and the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. In March 2011, William and Catherine set up a gift fund held by the Foundation of Prince William and Prince Harry to allow well-wishers to donate money to charities supporting the armed forces, children, the elderly, art, sport, and conservation, instead of gifts. This foundation is now known as the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales. During the COVID-19 pandemic, in March 2020, William launched a fundraising appeal to help Charles with the National Emergencies Trust, which raised £11 million in its first week and £90 million at the end of the fundraiser. The proceeds were donated to frontline charities and the United Kingdom Community Foundations. Prince and Princess of Wales became joint patrons of NHS charities together in December 2020. Later in 2021, William visited a vaccination center in King's Lynn and encouraged using the COVID-19 vaccine, denouncing the false information that could cause vaccine hesitancy. In September 2021, he assisted in evacuating an Afghanistan officer who was a Royal Military Academy Sandhurst graduate and aide to British troops from Kabul airport, along with over 10 of his family members during the 2021 Taliban offensive. Also, during the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the couple donated to help the war refugees. Likewise, in February 2023, they donated to the Disasters Emergency Committee, which helped victims of the 2023 Turkey to Syria earthquake. Then, 2024, William and Catherine donated more to help victims of Hurricane Beryl. This deadly tropical cyclone impacted parts of the Caribbean, the Yucatan Peninsula, and the Gulf Coast of the United States in late June 2024. Prince William's charity works are not limited to these. He aided in numerous categories globally: the health sector, the homeless, sports, LGBT, cyberbullying, wildlife, conservation, etc. He has stretched far and wide from a young age, helping and aiding different causes globally. This has been a massive support to the royal family. Now, let's see his big plans and why Queen Camilla objected to them, making King Charles uncomfortable. Prince William's big plans. In the late summer 2022, the Balmoral Summit brought together prominent royal family members to consider the monarchy's future. The event, held at Balmoral Castle in the Scottish Highlands, was far from calm regarding the subject matter. The discussion centered on Prince William, who would advocate for wide-ranging reforms to strengthen the royal institution's relevance. William knew, being next in line, that the monarchy's future was tied to the modernization of its outlook to appeal to the public. He suggested several reforms at this summit aimed at redefining what the royal family was for and its duties and roles. Among his ideas were introducing a more disciplined approach to family expenditure and pushing for more public engagements on mental health, environmental sustainability, and early childhood education that are close to the values of modern Britain. The new approach entailed moving away from purely ceremonial appearances and emphasizing causes that would create lasting impacts. Much was based on reversing roles and responsibilities to younger royals, willing to take up more active public duties. This approach has given Kate and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, prominent roles while toning down some of the older practices now considered non-essential. It was an appeal to change the guard from the old structure, which had been cast by many as being out of step with modern life. William also advised revising the financial allowances, ensuring that only royals involved in public service get public funding. It was an attempt to calm criticism of the monarchy's spending when many Britons struggled financially. He suggested that a smaller, more purpose-driven royal family would improve popular perception while also aligning with the aspirations of an increasingly responsible society. Reactions were divided in contrast, as some of the older members, like Princess Anne, noticed something important in the air concerning accepting more duties on the part of the young members. However, some have found such overtures disturbing. Most pronounced was Camilla's reaction. Therefore, the proposed changes would dent into the role she had taken on over the years, during which the Queen Consort struggled to gain acceptance to earn her place. The most prominent of these changes was the move to redeploy various royal roles and engagements. This change was to be done as a cost-saving measure. Still, it was also meant to ensure that the monarchy was functioning more effectively, providing more opportunities for younger, more proactive members. The proposed plan included a restructuring that would affect Camilla directly, as this proposal would mean that some of Camilla's patronages and appearances would be reduced, allowing others, like Kate and Sophie, to step forward. Things reached a turning point when the topic of financial allowances came up. William's suggestion was to cut expenses by keeping Camilla's children, Laura Lopes and Tom Parker Bowles, out of the royal working group and reserving some royal privileges for the immediate family members serving. Even though they had been pretty secretive, the idea of losing any indirect advantages due to their mother's new position made things a bit tense. Camilla's voice reportedly raised as she expressed the least hardship she had experienced and the utmost dedication she had shown to Charles and the royal family. At the same time, she also highlighted her years of support and the sacrifices she had made to earn her spot. That brief, explosive outburst touched the people there, with the down-to-earth Princess Anne not uttering a word, but listening to her with interest. Always composed, Kate listened attentively but was said to be quietly affected by Camilla's reaction. The Princess of Wales, who had put a lot of effort into supporting William's idea, understood that the goal was to modernize the family and ensure it would remain relevant. She felt that Camilla's response revealed much about the generational gap between those looking to the future and those clinging to the past. And how about King Charles? He was shaken and dumbfounded. As King Charles III adjusted to his role as king, the family faced a defining moment, balancing the respect for traditions with the need for progress. The public nature of the disagreements, which included reports of Camilla's resistance and William's push for change, highlighted a challenge the royal family had long faced, adapting to modern expectations while maintaining the legacy of the crown. The tensions exposed at Balmoral highlighted this struggle, raising concerns about how these differences could impact the monarchy's unity and public image. This view of modernizing the monarchy was nothing new. After all, Queen Elizabeth II had brought changes herself in her long reign on the throne, from using television for speeches to royal engagements that were more inclusive. However, this push towards significant reform picked up a new pace when younger royals like Prince William and Princess Kate realized something was to be undertaken to reconnect with the people. Camilla's reaction was, in particular, that her children had a future role, which showed how there were much deeper, untouched scars in the royal family. The son and daughter of Camilla, Tom Parker Bowles and Laura Lopes, respectively, were never part of the central royal duties. Still, their mother's position as queen consort brought them closer into the affairs of royal attention. King Charles's reign, which began when he was 73 years old, is understood to be transitional, and he needs to balance the traditional expectations held by many in his generation with the forward-thinking approach that his son William seems to suggest. The handling of Camilla's concerns and the fallout from her reaction were seen as early tests of his ability to manage competing interests within his family. The decisions made during this period affected Charles's legacy and set the stage for William and Kate's future. William strongly supports the monarchy's prosperity because he envisions a monarchy that is less focused on rigid tradition, more involved in resolving social issues, and more closely linked to the interests of the people. However, obstacles put up by individuals like Camilla, who just represent outmoded royal responsibilities and privileges, must be silenced to do this. Where will all these end? Well, we can only wait to find out. What do you think of Queen Camilla's reaction? Feel free to air your views in the comment section below. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe. Before you go, click on the video displayed on your screen.